Welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we're getting back into the theme for this month of August of letting go. Why does it hurt to let individuals go? What you should do to help yourself out with there, and much more, right up next on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze after these breaks. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Oh yeah, so it is week 7 of actually doing Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and I have to say, I do enjoy actually doing this show. I really do deeply enjoy and love doing Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And not just that, if y'all probably have noticed how the quality of the podcast, if you're watching this on the video, and actually listening to this well too, is getting better and better each and every week. And also, just to let y'all know, if you just a first-time listener, first-time watcher on Sony Blaze, first of all, go ahead and punch that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and just go ahead and follow me in whatever platform this lands on, whatever podcast platform. You know what? Just go ahead and just follow me. Anyways, back to the news. I am currently setting up a Patreon page as we speak right now of this moment, of this recording, of this video. So there will be a link down in the description if you're on YouTube, and there will be a link in whatever description this ends up landing to, whatever platform this ends up landing to. So anyways, so like I said, at this point, we are working on the Patreon page, so you can actually directly support Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And then what we're going to basically have with on there is, well, first of all, we're going to have at least a few tiers. I ain't going to say all the tiers yet, but just I won't say a preview, but a little bit of exactly what you're going to get out of it. Just first of all, a newsletter that will be sent out each and every week. I'm working on that as we speak right now. Also, we get to go ahead and have live recordings and many other things coming up in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze on the Patreon page. So as we speak right now, the Patreon page is up right now, and you can go ahead and go in just for as low as $1, but we don't have much as of we speaking right now, because like I said before, we're on the process of working on it as we speak. Anyways, that's about enough for that exciting news. Of that part of the exciting news, and other Deep Talk with Sony Blaze related news, we're bringing out 2 more, you could say, shows within the Deep Talk umbrella, as you can speak. I was trying to get a word about it. It didn't want to come out and whatsoever. But the 2 shows that I'm going to bring out is Deep Bites with Sony Blaze, where we get to have a deeper bite and some of the subjects that I went through on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And also, Let's Talk About It, formerly known as SBC Discussions. And with Let's Talk About It, it's going to be subjects and matters that I want to actually speak about, but I never got a chance to speak on on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Both those are coming real soon. I'm working on them as we speak at this moment right now. So this is all coming up really, really soon, and I'm very excited on working on those things as well too. So anyways, just let me know down in the comments if you're on YouTube what you actually think of it, and yeah, whatsoever. So anyways, now straight up though, man, I don't even know where I was just about to go with that one. But if you're just joining me for the first time, if you want to know who I am, my name is my stage name is Sony Blaze. I've been doing podcasts for a bit 10 years, and I've been doing Deep Talk with Sony Blaze since 2019. Now, if you actually search up on Google, it's going to say 2020. Like when I really officially put my first episode up on the internet, but I've been doing this since 2019. So, and this is season 6. Technically, you could say season 6. It's more probably not really season 6 or whatever, but we're going to officially make this as season 6, okay? We're officially making it as season 6. So anyways, a little bit more about me. I'm originally from Florida, but I'm up here in Rochester, New York. What up, Rochester? How's it going? And I've been here for at least maybe getting almost 20 years now, and I do enjoy Rochester, New York, but it's about time for me to really start traveling, because that's the one thing I would really want to do. I want to actually start traveling around the United States and actually traveling the world. So soon, once Deep Talk is on the Blaze get there, we'll get there. But anyways, if you do want to have some of your ideas or subject matters that you want to be featured in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, please go into the Patreon page. Once everything's set up, you can be a Patreon, and you can sit there and vote on what subject matters that we want to actually speak about. You know? What's up? And also, I am looking for guests for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So if there's anybody who's out there who's actually watching this, who knows somebody, or if you're interested, if you are a interesting individual, please jump on Deep Talk with Sony. Please come jump on the comments. Please let me know. And also, I'm gonna work this out as well at the Patreon as well too, like a voting system. But we're getting there, man. But anyways, yes. And so, yeah. But anyways, let's go ahead, and we're gonna be right back with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze after these breaks. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little confused. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com, and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we're getting back into the subject of letting them go. And today's not just the subject, but the theme of let them go. Just letting them go. And today we're mainly talking about why is it so hard letting them go? Like, why is letting them go is so hard? So let's jump into it. And you're probably wondering why I'm looking this way and whatsoever. I do apologize, because let's change this up a little bit. Okay. So anyways, why is it so hard to let someone go? Well, let's actually really think about it. Like I said last week on the episode, most likely when it got really hard is because maybe y'all, you and a certain individual, and it don't have to be specifically a romantic relationship whatsoever. It could be just a friendship, partnership, whatever it is, family, it is whatever. But the reason why it feels so hard to let someone go is because the history, the times that y'all shared, the moments. There's a lot of reasons why the difficulties of letting someone go is so hard. Because like let's really think about this. Just think about this whole situation. You could have we're gonna use relationship because mainly it's probably really resonate with a lot of people. So most likely, let's say maybe when y'all first met, y'all probably met in maybe some extraordinary or maybe some simple reasons. But then after that, y'all probably spend a lot of time with each other. Y'all probably did miraculous things. It could be somebody I did a lot of firsts with. Probably, your first time dating or, first time making love, whatever. But there's a lot of moments in history that you have with the individual. And y'all been so close with each other. Like, it's pretty much like a part of your body with that individual. And then shit went wrong. And you probably tried your best to actually sit there and fix it. But it continues going wrong until you get towards that point and be like, you know what? Before things get towards the worst possible situation, we have to let it go. And the thing is, once you're at that point of letting go of that individual, you start to remember those moments. You start to remember those times that you have, all the good times, all the bad times. And then after, the distance and after y'all not with each other anymore, you start to you continue to remember. And it's the thing is familiarity. I know I pronounced that wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It was so familiar to you. And I don't know what was the quote, but basically it's just a familiar pain. That's mainly what it is and why it's so hard, because it's so familiar to it and to you, and you after you cut it off, you don't know what to do, because now that familiar energy, that familiar source, that familiar touch is gone, and you don't know which way to go, how to, and what to do with your life. And it's tough and it hurts and it's understandable. And yeah, it sucks. It really does sucks. And there's not a lot of things we can say or do, but it does really sucks. It really does sucks. And should it be this hard to let go of an individual? Well, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to letting things go. It's really hard, especially if you're very familiar and you've been with that individual or thing for a very very long time. It's really hard to let it go, because it could be many reasons why it's so hard. Maybe, like I said before, because the relationship, the history that you have with that person or thing. Or maybe the simple fact that you starting to realize you couldn't have done more. Because that's a lot of times for a lot of us. A lot of us are feeling the pain because we think that we could have done more to help the situation, but we don't know. We don't know because it's too late, because it's gone, and we had to let it go. So when it comes down to it's hard. It's very hard and difficult to let go of something that you honestly probably don't want to actually let go, or you probably do want to let go. Is this There's no better way to actually say. And if you probably right now, and you probably asking Sony Blaze, is there any way to make it easier to feel the hurt less and whatsoever? Well, sort of, I could say, sort of. You just have to, I guess, be more prepared, which we're going to cover a little later. And also just realize that you're going to get hurt. And I want to go back to something that I said in a previous episode, and I remember where I got it from. This was from an anime that I used to watch. Yes, I had watched, and I still do watch anime. It was from Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I believe it was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, or it could be the other, or the first version. But anyways, it was, I think, Eric or whatever, not Eric or wherever. But anyway, he said there is no easy. I believe he said there is no easy lessons in life. I can't remember the rest of the quote up there, but I'm pretty sure whoever watch anime and watch Full Metal Alchemist know what I'm talking about. And when it comes down to it, there are truly no easy lessons when it comes to life. There isn't. I know for a fact. And you can use everything that's what happened as a learning experience. Just use everything as a learning experience. You don't have to sit there and just take the hurt, take the pain, take the beating, and just get get beat up and not get anything out of it. Gain something from the loss, the pain that you have from after letting it go, and after whatever type of bad breakup situations that you actually have been in. Because once again, there is no such thing as easy lessons when it comes to life. Or my apology, I think it was painless lessons. It was actually painless lessons. So after you take that, painful experience, painful lessons, use that as a opportunity to just learn and build yourself up even more. So for the next time when something like this happen, it'd be easier for you to just let that situation, person, or thing go and be like, all right, and I'm gonna just easily just drop you down like that. Because the thing is, it's going to continue to hurt. You're going to continue to go through shit. You're going to continue to go through problems. But the thing is, with life, it's not all about the pain, the hurt, the fuck upness. It's not all about that. There are some good things. There are some good parts in life. There are some bad parts in life. It's just what it is. What it comes down to is use everything that you learn. Use everything that you learn. And also, take your time. I bet you I remember that. Take your time when it comes to life. And if you need to, just start all over. Okay? Just start all over. And just take your time with it. Learn those lessons that you need to learn. Pull your big pants up. Put the big boy pants up. Pull the big girl pants up. And handle it, okay? Just handle what you need to do. Handle your business. That's it, though, man. But once again, man, like I said, it's really hard to just let someone go because, with the history and whatsoever. And it's going to be hard letting them go. There's no doubt about it. And use everything that you have as a learning experience. Yes, yes, yes. But anyways, that's about it for this part of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And we be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Peace. What up, what up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So it doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Hello and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. If you're just joining me for the first time, we're getting into let them go. Why is it so hard to let someone go? So let's get back into the conversation. So, is there a way to make it easier to let someone go? Well, yeah and no. Y'all know how I do. Yes and no. It's when it comes down to it, it depends on you. It depends on you. It depends on you and how you handle the situation. Because like I said earlier in this segment, you can use everything as a learning experience. And if you use everything as a learning experience, with the situation that you're dealing with now, you can use what you learn to help you make it easier to let that person go, that situation, that thing go. Now, at first it's going to be difficult. At first it's going to be hard. But you have to work through it. You have to go through. You have to sit there and put in the time and the effort that you actually need to do. Because when it comes down to it, it's not really easy just letting things go when it was a big part of your life. And I've seen that plenty of times of people who have things and situations and people that has that relationship, and the thing about it is very toxic to them. It don't have to probably be toxic, but most of the time if you're letting somebody go, there's a good chance it was toxic. Or at least it wasn't good for your peace of mind. So, when it comes down to it, I kind of like my thought process kind of went, phew, I had a brain fart real quick. So, and like I said, I seen plenty of people who was struggling with it, and that's the thing. It's like it has a hold on you, and with the lessons that you learn, you can make it a lot easier for you to drop it down. Because think about it, like if you at the first time is probably going to be one of the hardest things, but then if you use the experience, that would be like, how the experience that you had, you can sit there and learn to be like, okay, so I remember how when I was in this situation, how it made me feel and what I had to go through. And since I had to go through all that, I don't want to actually do that anymore. So let's go ahead and just continue on the path that I am of letting this thing go. And that's how it is. Just use your past. Use the experience. Use those lessons that you have to go ahead to make it a lot easier to go through to let that thing go. Now, like I said before, there is no such thing as easy lessons. There is no such things as easy. There is no such things as painless lessons. I mean, there are lessons that are not as painful as others, but you're going to actually go through some type of pain and whatsoever. Like as for breakup, I mean, first of all, it's like basically like, cutting yourself or something. Now, also about cutting yourself, if you are an individual who tend to hurt themselves and cut themselves and have mental issues, please just go to a professional. And if you can't go to a professional, hopefully my videos, my content will sit there and help you out through those issues and whatsoever. But anyway, back to the analogy. It's just like basically cutting yourself. You sit there, and once you actually go through those lessons, it's going to hurt. Or not just cutting yourself, just getting cut, period. It's going to hurt. It's going to be pretty much painful. And the thing is, a lot of times when you go through those lessons, what it's doing is actually building you a lot stronger. Just think about it as I don't want to just say breaking bones, but we use that as an example. Not just breaking bones, but how trauma, like a lot of trauma go through your bones and whatsoever. That's probably much easier than saying breaking bones. So what I'm getting at is if your bones have, go through a lot of trauma over and over again, what's going to happen is, and also muscles too. So muscles and bones, if it goes through a lot of trauma, like a lot of, you can say training, whatsoever, but we're going to use trauma, it's going to get stronger. After that, like a new set of muscles or new set of bones, I don't know what's the actual scientific term for that, will come up and replace the old one, and then you get stronger. Because let's go towards muscles, because when you're doing like muscle training, you have to sit there and tear the muscles, and every time that you tear the muscles, you build more, better, and stronger muscles. So when it comes to lessons, the reason why a lot of lessons are painful is not just to sit there and bring you down, it's actually to bring you up, to actually make you a lot stronger. So even though there is no such things as painless or easy lessons, use those lessons, use those experience to make yourself a lot stronger, so you could be tougher, so you could be like, I am a super guy or superwoman or super lady. So yeah. And the thing is also, you can actually prepare yourself for the hurt. You can prepare yourself for the hurt. You can prepare yourself for the lessons. Even though like I said before, there is no easy lessons. Nobody never said that you can prepare yourself for that hurt, for that lessons. Like for instance, we're going to refer to it when I was speaking on starting all over. I can't remember what episode and what subject, but I do remember what I was talking about. You can sit there and make yourself a care package or something, like a little, rainy day type of thing. Whenever things get hard, not things get hard, but whenever you're about to go through the lessons that you can actually go through. Now, when you go through it, you might not actually remember right away, but if you at least plan for it ahead of time, if you actually put in the work, the preparation, there's a good chance that you're going to find it and you be like, okay, and it was going to get a lot easier for you. For instance, like Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and whatsoever, as for me, and amongst other things. So, like, especially because there be times that, like, hope bless, you know, I don't drop this, you know, Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and we try to do this as long as, not long as we can, till like the rest of my life, and that be like hundreds of years from now, thousands. But anyways, but if, you know, if I do drop it and whatsoever happens, I put in plans and situations that, you know, and outlines for me to actually do, so whenever I do drop it, I can easily get back on it and then do what I need to do. So what I'm saying is, before, while you having a good time, while you sitting there enjoy yourself, before all things break loose, and obviously I'm not wishing for that and whatsoever, but what I am saying that is, build yourself a care package. Build yourself a what's it called? No, we just gonna keep it as care package. So to help you out whenever that situation go by, whatever works for you. It don't have to be particularly what everybody else do. Do things that works for you and put it in that care package. Whatever that care package. It could be a box full of, you know, some of your favorite things like video games, movies, books, poems, whatever, or maybe some money that you put away for a trip or something. Just create that care package so you can sit there and have. So whenever the next time shit happens, you be prepared for it. You be like, all right, I'm ready to sit there and just take it. Whenever it happens, obviously you're not gonna be there. You're probably gonna sit there and cry. So, and you're gonna be hurting, and things ain't gonna be right. And that's the thing, though, man. If you do need to cry your eyes out, because, you know, shit doesn't always happen the way it happens. But at least you have something, though. So, at least you have something, though. So, anyways, man. If there's anybody who is having an issue, who is having a problem, and did have to let somebody go, just put it down in the comments. Now, in particular, I probably won't be able to answer you, but there might be somebody that's out there who's seeing your message that'll be able to help you out. Now, also be careful, because there's a lot of assholes that's out there who's going to see your comment and be like, shut the fuck up. Please, people, don't do that. But anyways, that's about it for this part of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and we be back right after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Peace. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com, and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So, if you're just joining me for the first time, and if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channels, go ahead and uppercut that subscribe button. Just go, just do that real quick. Just, but anyways, and also if you just joined me just now, we're finishing up towards the last subject, and we're talking about let them go, why it hurts to let them go. So, the reason why it may hurt so much is because there's a good chance you probably love them, or love that situation. I mean, that's the best way I can actually really say it. Is the main reason why you probably are hurting, why you're going through pain, why you're going through all this stress, all these lessons, all this hurt, is because there's a good chance that you love them or it or that situation or place. There's actually feelings or attachment that you have for it. Or it could be just a simple attachment. But if you actually sit down and really think about it, you probably sit there and realize, like, oh, you know what? That might be the reason why. I mean, there's nothing really. I don't know what else to say about that. This most likely, that's probably the good reason why you're going through that. Why it hurts so much, and why that you have to go through all this obstacles and hoops and situations and pain, because there's a good chance that you actually love it. Because you want to go through all of that if you didn't have some type of love for it. But like I said before, it could be just maybe a simple attachment as well too. Because you could just, it could be just something that you just feel empty for and whatsoever. But when it comes down to it, one of the lessons that you should learn from that is you should learn how to love yourself. And that's going to eventually be, that's going to probably be next month. I'm going to write that down. Love yourself. But that's going to be next month's theme, loving yourself. So, and that's probably the main thing why you're having such a hard time, because most likely you probably just need to love yourself a lot more. But also, like I said before, most likely is that you have love for that, because it probably feels something within your life that you needed. You probably didn't felt as alone as you did before you had that within your life, or many other things. But I will say something. I will say this once again, though, man. One of the main lessons that you should learn is to learn to love yourself. So if you're out there, if you're listening to these words, right now, and if you're going through this pain and the suffering because that you had to let someone go, learn how to love yourself. Learn how to love yourself, because once you learn how to love yourself, things about letting people go, situations and things will get a lot easier for yourself. And also, you begin to actually see, I should say, a brighter side of yourself. So love yourself, though, man. Please just love yourself. And also, if you need it, please go do some counseling. Especially if you don't know what I mean, then you're not. Please seek some counseling if you truly need it. And if you don't think you need it, or if you don't want to seek counseling, please watch videos like this. And there's others individuals who's out there who's giving great knowledge that can actually help you out and gives one-on-one lessons and whatsoever. So, or sessions, I should say. So please just seek some counseling, though. Seek somebody to help you out, whatever you're going through. Okay? All right. And also, now, just because you letting something go doesn't mean that you hate it, okay? Or you have to hate it, I should say. So letting something go doesn't mean you have to hate it. Because a lot of times, I've seen a lot when people who let people go and their exes, let situations, things, substances go, they begin to sit there and just hate it, and hate it with their whole entire being. They like, fuck you, screw you, and blah blah blah, and first of all, I understand. I understand because you went through a lot of pain, and whatever that situation did or what it was, it put you through a lot of stress and a lot of pain as well too. But just because things happen and didn't go your way doesn't mean you have to hate it. What you can do is you can actually use that, like I said before, as a learning experience. Use it as a mirror. Think of it as a mirror. Like, you sitting there and you're looking at the situation, person, or thing. You're looking at it and be like, okay, so that's how I reacted to that situation, to that thing. So let me just not be so uptight or crazy about it. Let me sit there and just let me sit there and work on myself, because that's how this person was reacting to me. So, or how I perceive this situation, or how this person perceived me. Just use it as a mirror. Because the thing is, especially with people, once you start to hate something, what you're mainly doing is keeping a connection. Or I won't just say a connection. It's keeping a hold on yourself. You're going to continue to be tied down by that person, situation, or thing, or substance. And it's going to keep a hold on you more and more and more. So once again, just don't sit there and let that hold you. Just use that as a lesson. And use it as a lesson, and once you learn from them, teach others. Like I said before, just use the things that you learn, and then once you learn it, teach it to others, so whenever they go through the situation, they won't have such a hard time like you did. Okay? Because we're all in here. We're all having a hard time. We're all just just trying to actually do something a lot more better for ourselves and make life a lot more easier for ourselves. Life is hard. Life is tough. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say about it. Life is hard. Life is tough. And things can be a lot more easier for us. So, anyways, that's about it for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So today we will get into and to continue on and talk about letting them go, let them go. And why is it so hard to let others go? And mainly because, the history. Why is it so hard to let them go? It's because of the history. But we can sit there and use that as a learning experience. So we can sit there and teach ourselves and others. Now, obviously, there are ways to make it easier to let individuals go. But if we don't use the lessons that we learn, it's going to be hard anyways. It's going to be tough. And also, there is no such things as painless or easy lessons when it comes to life. Thank you, Full Metal Alchemist. And you can easily prepare yourself for the hurt. Nobody says you can sit there and just take the fall without sitting there trying to land. Sit there, prepare yourself to take the hurt. Now, the main reasons that it could hurt is because you probably love them. Or it could be attachment, but whatever it is, that's probably the reason why. And just because you let them go, you don't have to hurt them. Use this as a learning experience. Just use this as something that can teach others and whatsoever. But anyways, that's about it for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And once again, though, if you're out there, if you're having a hard time with love and relationship and whatsoever, first of all, I am not a expert on any of this or a true expert. I'm just using some of the experience that I have and what I've seen from others. So my advice to you, if you're out there, you're watching this right now, my advice to you is seek some help. Seek help from a professional. Seek help from somebody who truly went through the situation you go to. Do some research online. Find that help and just don't give up. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. You'll be all right. You'll be okay. And like I said, if you need somebody to talk to, go ahead and put a comment down and say, I need someone to talk to. You may never know who may sit there and answer your call. I'm not particularly saying that I'll be the person. I maybe will, maybe not. But there will be, not probably, there is somebody that's out there who's willing to help you. But anyways, thank you for joining my corner of the universe. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So it doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace.